wundere mich. Ei, ist der riesig. Wir machen mit der Story weiter. Der Story von Natlan jetzt. Ich gucke hier. Suche nach dem alten Namen. Ziel verfolgen. Ab geht's. Ab geht's. Scheiße, kein Wegpunkt da. Hab noch nicht alles erkundet hier. Ich mache immer so ein bisschen abwechselnd zwischen Sammeln und Story. Und los. In Zylon geht's ja relativ schnell.
The tribe's people are very adventurous.
Oh, kinda like us then.
I'm not so sure. You don't strike me as the type to enjoy danger. The Scions of the Canopy are a bunch of thrill seekers. They love extreme sports like rock climbing, rappelling, volcano parkour, or even bungee jumping without a rope while a Yunkasaur stands at the edge and uses its tongue to catch them. Sound like something you'd be interested in?
Okay.
That's why.
Oh, scheiße, ich habe sie unterbrochen. Nein! Also, ich rede nicht viel, wenn sie labern, zur Info. Wird ein bisschen chilliger streamen, dann hört ihr mich nicht durchgehend jeppen, aber ich würde gerne mal einfach in der Story weiterkommen.
Chaska.
Nice Brille, ey. Chaska! Chaska! We have a big butt. Booty time.
Nice to see you again, Wyna. I'm afraid we don't have time for pleasantries, so I'll get right to it. We're here for the Spirit Speaker Stone.
Whoa, hold on a second. At least tell me why you need it first.
My friend Kachina is trapped within the Night Kingdom. We need the stone to find her ancient name and rescue her.
Rescue her? From the Night Kingdom?
That's right.
I'm sorry, but someone needs to tell you what you don't want to hear. Going there, a mature warrior would never make such a foolish decision.
Foolish? Nur alleins. Just-esque.
Is unpredictable.
Ist so.
You never know how it's going to end. Losing a friend is tragic, but when that happens, the best thing you can do is focus on how to prevent
Geht voll die
further
Cowboy-Boots
casualties.
an.
I appreciate what you're trying to say, Chief Wyna. But if the price of maturity is abandoning a friend in need, I'll choose foolishness any day. If Kachina's still holding on, then so will I.
I thought you might say that.
Is something wrong, Wyna? This doesn't seem like you.
Ich verstehe die ganze Zeit rein anstatt Weine.
Life isn't complete without taking risks.
Boah, die
That's
hübschen
always been your
Lidschatten.
mantra.
It's nothing. The Night Kingdom is a dangerous place. Can't blame me for checking if you were up to the task. If you're that determined, far be it from me to stop you. Here's the stone. Keep it safe, okay?
Das sieht nicht aus wie ein
Seems like we have
Stein.
spare.
Thank you.
Huh. Seems like you two go way back. But aren't you from the Flower Feather Clan, Chaska?
Oh, Chaska's a peacekeeper, so she's famous throughout the tribes.
Chaska ist ein Asskeeper.
She's always the one people call to resolve conflicts, so we slowly got to know each other that way. Her younger sister Quichi's always hanging around our tribe too. She's helped us out a lot in the past.
Oh, you have a younger sister?
Yes, I'll introduce you to her sometime. But let's get back to business. Wyna, how do we use the stone?
As you probably know, your intended destination is completely different from the real world. The Night Kingdom is like a river flowing with concepts, and the ancient name you seek is like a tiny fish swimming downstream. In that sense, the stone is like a fishing boat drifting down the river, but the boat alone isn't enough. You need a fisherman experienced enough to steer it in the right direction.
We couldn't do that ourselves?
With a little practice, I'm sure you could. You have the strength and the talent. If you want to make sure this works, though, I could recommend someone to you.
Who?
Vichama, a legendary warrior and scout from our tribe. He's got a keen eye and a well-honed intuition. Even his ancient name means to seek. If you're fishing for a name, you're gonna want him on the boat.
Vichama? Why does that name sound familiar?
Habt ihr gehört, den könnt ihr losschicken, wenn ihr euren Vater von der Tankstelle
Heard
vermisst.
stories about him. Where can we find him?
Ever since Malco passed, he spends most of his time gazing out at the scenery from the cliff tops. Follow the path that way, and I'm sure you'll find him.
Thank you. We'll go look for him there.
Good luck. I hope everything goes well.
Yeah, auf geht's. Und mit, hier ist man so schön schnell einfach.
Someone admiring the scenery from the cliff tops. Ah, that must be him.
Einfach
Hello there,
Brokkolihaare.
are you Vichana?
That's me. Did you need something? What? You're saying you can bring someone back from the Night Kingdom? How is that even possible? No, if you really think about it, anything's possible in that kind of place. But that would mean...
Are you okay? You don't look so good.
Everything's fine. I'll help you, but I do have a small request. After I help you find Kachina's ancient name, I want to use the stone to look for my friends as well.
Your friend? Oh, why not mention someone named Malco? Is that who you're talking about?
Yes, but I'd rather not get into it if it's all the same to you.
That's not a problem. We agree to your request.
Yeah. Since you're helping us find Kachina's ancient name, it's only right that we return the favor.
Then we're agreed. Can I have a look at the stone?
Ist der Stein der Weisen, pass auf. Das sieht ja echt komisch aus. Hier, ein Stein, das wie Hörner aussieht. Den habe ich den Drachen abgerissen von nebenan. Schau ihn dir gut an, den Stein.
I see.
Das hat mich jetzt beinahe voll erschreckt einfach.
Both connect the Night Kingdom to the living world. Once the connection is established, the abyss will come
Ich hätte einmal
surging
richtig
through the
entfahren
opening like
lassen,
a
wenn er das
predator
begutachtet
hungry for the
hat.
scent of blood. So we have to be sure not to use it in a tribal settlement.
Wow, you got all that just from looking at it?
I just picked up on the basics, really. I still have no idea why it works. You said someone named Lali invented
Ist die
this.
Kategorie auf
He must be
Genshin?
a genius. I'll go find an open area
Sieht
and
wieder aus,
start
als hätte es
setting
nicht
things up.
geändert.
In the meantime, I need you to get 2 things for me.
We'll go right away. What do you need?
First, I'll need some hook ropes. Pretty much every store
Okay,
around here carries
dankeschön.
them, so no need to go anywhere special. Oh, and I need to build a net out of them, so make sure you get a good amount.
Wait, are you saying you're going to use a real net to catch Kachina's ancient name? How does that work when one's tangible?
Zeig
and
mir
one's
mein
not?
LiebeMoon.
By creating
Das ist ein
something
bisschen
tangible
heißes
and
Liebe,
valuable
wo wir gerade drin
like the
sind.
net, we can create a connection to a corresponding concept in the Night Kingdom. Basically, I'm going to use the concept of a net to catch something equally intangible, an ancient name.
Oh, I see. What about the second thing you needed?
Right. I need 2 chunks of obsidian. Once we bring the ancient
Bist du
names into
sicher?
our world,
Es ist
we'll
auch
need a place to
steinig.
store them. Normally, you can only get obsidian from the Children of Echoes, but I heard there's a traveling merchant from that tribe around here somewhere, so maybe you can try your luck there.
Gotcha!
All right, let's split up. See that clearing? Let's meet over there when you're done.
Ich kenne meinen Stein, einen
Oh, and
richtig
you
harten
can
Stein,
send
auf den du
someone
immer
with me if you
sitzt.
want. In case you're worried I might take the stone for myself.
What do you think, Chaska?
There's no need. Lena spoke highly of you. That means you're trustworthy.
I appreciate it, even though that doesn't mean much to me anymore. Anyway, it'll take some time to set everything up, so no need to rush. I'll see you in a bit.
What an odd guy. He seemed so defeated excited, but also really invested in the stone at the same time.
I don't have any more insight than you, Paimon. Let's just focus on the preparations for now. Hang on, Kachina. We're coming for you.
Man könnte jetzt meinen, dass Mulanis Augen wie Fische aussehen, aber ich denke, das sieht aus wie Nukes. Hier ist dein Lioe! Aber ich habe sogar 100% hier alles. Ist das nicht schön? Gut, das existiert nicht. 100%! Ja, ihre Hall-Ulti ist echt eine Nuke. Ich glaube, die ist gar nicht mal so unschuldig, wie die aussieht. Boah, in Natlan ist so viel zu tun, ey. Es ist einfach unglaublich. Tiefer. Muss tiefer. Oh, ich glaube, das ist ein bisschen zu tief. Ah. Da fehlt was von Liebe. Ja, ich war halt noch nicht ready for Check Your Way.
Rock climbing equipment?
Yes. How much for your whole stock?
Attack your entire stock.
The whole thing? Let me see. That would be 30.
Ah, ihr habt reingeschaut, Leute. Ihr habt reingeschaut.
Deal.
Wait. Really?
What, you want me to drive down the price? We just need these as fast as possible. Thanks.
Oh, no problem at all. I'll even pass along some information on the house. These ropes are usually used by rock climbing enthusiasts. If you want to learn, Roka's the person you want to ask. All right. That's everything. Here you go.
Now we need the obsidian. Let's go talk to the traveling merchant Vichama mentioned.
Chaska ist irgendwie pur auf Sexy Peel irgendwie.
Excuse me, do you sell obsidian?
Why, yes. I've got a chunk for sale right over there.
Perfect. Is that the only one, though? We actually need two.
That might be tough. Tell you what, I'll take a look through these boxes over here and we'll see what we can find.
Thank you so much. We'll wait here.
Relax. Everything's going according to plan.
I know, it's just...
Relax. Don't do
the
it.
same way about his friend that I do about Kachina. I hope this chunk of obsidian isn't the only one. Kachina always carries all sorts of shiny stones with her. If I was the one trapped in the Night Kingdom, she'd have a whole pile of obsidian ready in a heartbeat.
Well, would you look at that? I did bring an extra. Here you go, young lady. How does it look?
Steinig. Kann man das essen?
Perfect! Thank you. How much do I owe you?
If you hadn't shown up, these stones would have just sat here collecting dust. I'll take 3,000 mora for both. Here you go. By the way, I heard you mention Vichama just now. You running an errand?
Die ist vergeben, oder die Story weiter. Was danke, Mighty Zhongli. Ich wurde von seinen harten Steinen erspart.
It's about time he started to move forward.
Do you know what happened between them?
Fast niemand kann bei den Raids irgendwie Zhonglis Namen aussprechen.
But I don't know all the details. Vichama and Malko grew up together, and even made a name for themselves together. Malko was an amazing fighter, capable of knocking out multiple opponents in a single hit, while Vichama
Curse of the Strong.
and analyzing the battlefield.
Ich weiß, es wird schon. Irgendwann wird's einer verstehen. Schlongli. Nein, Leute.
5 years ago, they both emerged triumphant
Longli.
in the pilgrimage
Schlongli,
and were
Longli.
placed on the same team to fight the Abyss. But on the eve of battle, the Abyss launched an attack on their tribe, and Vichama suffered an injury to his leg while attempting to rescue someone.
Then what happened?
Alle sind gestorben, Paimon. Das ist passiert.
The team agreed that he couldn't fight the Abyss in his condition. Vtuber
This chat will have order.
He knew going to the front lines with an injured leg would make him a burden in battle. So they raised the issue with the Pyro Archon, and she agreed to let him stay behind. It's just... Melko and the others ended up facing hordes of abyssal monsters in numbers that far exceeded anyone's expectations. The team made an error in judgment, and they fell to the onslaught. Vichama went into a deep depression after that. He blames himself for everything. Oh, you're not wrong. But it's possible he chooses to blame himself. Not because he did something wrong, but because he wasn't able to do anything at all. I've tried convincing him to move forward, to stop dwelling on the past. But the shadow of Malko's death hangs over him still. The Abyss has caused so much suffering, and some wounds never heal. I wish there was something he could do to make himself feel better. But... anyway, that's the gist of it. Maybe you could help him talk things through sometime. I would really appreciate it.
Triff dich mit Vichama. Erstmal zum Dino werden hier. Weil sonst komme ich nicht hoch. Scheiße, wie komme ich da hoch? Nein! Nicht runterfallen. Alles bloß das nicht. Ah, ich muss eh dahin, okay. Dachte, ich müsste da jetzt schon hoch. Hui!
Did you get everything?
Yep, it's all here. When do we start?
I've made all the necessary adjustments, so we're good to go. As agreed, I'll help you find Kachina's ancient name, and then you return the favor. Go ahead. Yes. After Malko fell, I scoured the battlefield to see what happened. It turned out he wasn't bested by some impossibly powerful foe. He was dragged to his grave by the sheer number of enemies. If I had been there, I would have been able to sense the danger. I could have warned them not to advance. I've always blamed myself for what happened. But when you told me about Kachina, I realized there's a chance Malko might also be alive, fighting for survival in the Night Kingdom.
But that happened several years ago, right? The Pyro Archon said all life within the Night Kingdom eventually becomes one with the Sea of Souls.
There might not be much hope, but I still have to try. Malko and I promised each other, even if we never managed to root out the Abyss for good, we would fight together until the end. All right.
Das
let's get
Bromance
to it.
hier.
I'll start searching for the conceptualized version of Kachina's ancient name. If you see any fragments scattered around the area, please collect them.
Er macht einfach den Yoga-Morgengruß.
Make sure you prepare yourselves for battle. As I said, the stone will link the mortal realm to the Night Kingdom. The Abyss will likely emerge in response.
Look at that golden thing. It must be one of those fragments Vichama mentioned. Let's get closer.
Dann sammeln wir mal hier die Skills vom Boden auf.
Whoa, monsters incoming! Watch out, everyone!
Let me lead you, all right.
Ah!
Settle down.
Oh, da ist noch.
Illusion shattered. Inazuma shines eternal. Ha!
No, my sword! Rain Cutter!
Bow your head.
How much longer, Vichama?
Not long. We're getting close.
Pyjama ist richtig close, ich kann's spüren. Pyjama! Broccoli Head!
Quick, take it!
Hast du das Autoschlüssel zugeworfen? Ah, nee.
I found Kachina's ancient name. Hang in there, Malco. Just a little longer.
Something's not right. The power of the abyss is getting stronger.
The abyss is
My life will have order!
Vtuber, you can't keep going, you'll die.
I should have died 5 years ago. I just need a little more time. Please, I'm almost there.
Alter, der ist richtig am Action.
Thank you.
Oh, ich muss Leertaste drücken. Spam it!
Whoa, watch out! The power of the abyss is strong.
Oh, der ist richtig gekommen gerade. Oh, mein Finger.
This power.
Hanging in there?
Malco. No, why can't I find him? Why?
We can't wait
Finger
any
dead,
longer.
ja.
Pull him away from the stone, Mualani.
I already tried, but the power of the abyss has him in a chokehold. It's like he's tied to the stone with an invisible rope.
In that case, we have no choice. I'm sorry, Seat Lolly. Get back!
Chaska, wait!
Oh, das sieht so cool aus. Und mein Schwanz ist jetzt am Verdecken, geil.
Ouch! What happened just now? It looked like the spirit speaker's stone was...
The stone's power was spiraling out of control. The only way to stop it was to destroy it. You were all caught in the shockwave of the explosion. You might feel dizzy for a while, but that's normal.
Give us a heads up next time, will you? You're lucky we managed to dodge it in time.
I thought I said to get back.
Yeah, barely a second before you made it go poof. Not everyone has your reflexes, Chaska. We were this close to getting dragged into the explosion.
Okay, I'll be more careful next time.
At least Kachina's ancient name is still in one piece. Wait, where's Vtuber?
Where's Pyjama?
Vtuber!
Vtuber!
I couldn't find Malco's ancient name. It must be completely gone by now. Once your ancient name disappears, there's no coming back. From the very beginning, I knew there was a slim chance, but still. And now... it's too late to save him.
It's too late to gonna die.
It was already too late.
Too late.
I'm
Pyjama,
sure
das
he's
wird
heard
schon.
enough condolences over the years. Let's just give him some space.
Huh? What's that in your hands, Vtuber? It looks like something's glowing.
Huh? This is...
Come.
Hey, Malco. Got any strength left?
Gibt's wieder Twitch-Drops? Kriegt ihr was?
But to say a few last words, sure.
Ich hab letztens gesehen, dass für Staria auch Twitch-Drops oder
No
Send
one
Us
will
to
get
Zero
to hear
gab.
them. I never thought I'd actually die on this mission. Not that I'm afraid to die. It's just hard thinking about my mom's face when she hears the news.
Okay, das ist echt traurig.
Guess I have something to be thankful for then. My parents died a long time ago. They won't have to mourn me. Pisak! Always had to beat me at everything, didn't you? Right to the end, you were never one for goodbyes. Maybe you're right. Maybe no one will get to hear our last words. But just in case. Vichama, I'm so glad you didn't come with us. Don't be sad. Just keep on living. For the both of us.
Very sad. Pyjama nicht. Oh.
Was that a memory?
Seems like we were able to salvage something after all.
Of course. Seeing him, hearing his voice again, it makes me unbelievably happy. But it also brings with it an even deeper pain.
A deeper pain? Why?
Malco was always the type to put on a brave face.
Okay.
But in that memory just now, his hands were shaking. And his smile was forced.
Gleich gibt's Werbeunterbrechung. Ich gehe ganz schnell aufs Klo währenddessen. Ganz kurz Pipi-Pause. Ich komme gleich wieder. So, bin wieder da. Mike, kannst du mir mal kurz sagen, wie lange ich dafür Genshin streamen muss, dass ihr das auch bekommt? Waren das nicht so 2 Stunden?
For all these years, I regretted not being able to fight alongside him to the end. And now I know, at the end of his life,
ja, das mache ich noch. Ich glaube, das
was
ist dann bis
thinking the
21
same
Uhr.
Vichama.
Oder 21:30 Uhr. Ich weiß nicht, wie lange ich gerade streame. Genshin.
Actually, I heard
Dann
Chief
bekommt ihr
Lionel
eure
wasn't really on
Drops
board
und
with
könnt
the plan to
pullen.
go to
Also
the
ihr
Night
könnt nicht
Kingdom.
pullen, aber was fürs
When
Pullen
you asked
kriegt
for
ihr.
my help, I hesitated too. I knew helping you find your friend's ancient name meant leading you one step closer to danger. But I also understood why you had to try. Everyone has regrets in life.
Stacky Primus!
But
Ja.
not everyone gets the chance to make up for them. Once allowed to fester, guilt strips us of our most valuable qualities as warriors. In that sense, we might as well choose the braver path from the very beginning.
Ich weiß gar nicht, wie viele Primus man kriegt. Mir das niemand mal schnell sagen?
If I could do it all over again, I would have followed Malco to the front lines no matter what. Even with an injured leg, there were still things I could have done. That way, even if the
30.
outcome
Wow.
stayed the same, I
Immerhin
still would have
30.
fought alongside
Besser
him
als
to the
nix.
end. There are critical junctures
Dachte jetzt so
in life,
60.
and if you don't seize the chance to act, there's no going back. That's something I had to learn in hindsight. But you're still at the crossroads of your journey, so I hope you can walk away without regrets.
Thank you, Vichama. I feel even more determined now. Kachina will come back to us. I'll make sure of it. I promised I would find her, and I intend to keep that promise.
That's good to hear. Strange. My body, it's...
Once abyssal corrosion enters the body, a portion will fuse itself to your internal organs. Even though the Traveler possesses powers of purification, the corrosion can never be fully eradicated. Thanks to her, though, you are only briefly exposed. Slowing your breathing and controlling your emotions should help you keep the symptoms in check.
That does make me feel better. You seem very knowledgeable about all this.
Just speaking from experience, that's all.
Anyway, we've recovered Kachina's ancient name, so we're off to a great start. Let's get Vichama back to his tribe and tell Wina the good news. Oh, and apologize for destroying the Spirit Speaker Stone. We had no choice, though, so he'll probably understand. Right?
Nee.
Koichi, are you really gonna just stand there like that? I don't know what you want from me.
I think you know exactly what I'm trying to say, Uncle Wina. I can hear it in your voice.
Honestly, it's just one thing after another with you two. They're back.
Koichi? What are you doing here?
Don't play dumb with your own sister. You know exactly why I'm here. My apologies, everyone. I just need to borrow Chaska for a few minutes. You come with me.
Okay, man muss hier nicht so gleich aggressiv werden.
I'll be just a moment.
Who is that?
Koichi, Chaska's younger sister. Although the two aren't actually related by blood, it's kind of a long story. It's not really my story to tell, but I guess it's not a secret. You see, Chaska was actually raised by cuckoo sores. She was afflicted with a rare disease when she was a child, and abandoned in the wild as a result. The Abyss found her out there, all on her own, and tried to devour her. But in the end, all that did was trigger her
Mit mir
will
darf
to
man nur
live.
mit Liebe reden.
That strength of
Ganz
will
viel
pushed
Liebe
her
und
to survive.
Streicheleinheiten.
But it also planted a seed of conflict within her. Eventually,
Manchmal
she
darf
was
man auch
adopted by the
beißen.
cuckoo
Das ist
sores.
normal.
Wherever they went, she followed, getting into fights right and left.
For some
Ich
reason,
kenne nur
I
Hiebe.
can totally imagine that.
Well, when Chaska finally returned to human society, it was Koichi's parents who adopted her. At the time, Chaska still had a habit of getting into fights, so Koichi was always taking her around, apologizing to everyone.
Ah, I remember those days. One of those fights was definitely with me. But, you know, kids. You're fighting one minute and your friend's the next. Eventually, she found a way to rein in that desire to fight. And now she's who people call to resolve conflicts. She's known as the Peacemaker. It sounds like she still argues with Koichi, though. Don't siblings usually stop fighting when they get older?
That's partly my fault. Koichi asked me to stop Chaska from doing anything dangerous, but you probably know by now, once Chaska makes up her mind, there's no changing it.
Oh, I get it. No wonder you tried to talk us out of going to the Night Kingdom. Chaska even said that wasn't like you.
I'm all for your adventure. You need to take risks when you're young, because by the time you're my age, you couldn't attempt something like that even if you wanted to. Better try now than live with regrets later. That's what I say. Still, I can understand where Koichi's coming from. In the end, Nobody wants to sit back and let a loved one put their life on the line.
All right, it's just the two of us now. You have 1 minute to explain yourself.
I don't have anything to say. You don't have to approve, but you should know I only do what's necessary.
That attitude is exactly the problem. It's like you don't care. You try to sneak off to the Night Kingdom behind my back and then play it down as if it's just a trip abroad.
Well, technically I am going abroad, right?
Again with the excuses! We agreed, didn't we? There are 4 levels of danger. If it's not something urgent, you can only engage in level 2 danger and below.
Die haben einfach Stufen für Danger.
If a situation is so dire, there's absolutely no alternative. But a trip to the Night Kingdom? If that's not a level 4, I don't know what is. And you were just going to sneak into the place without saying anything.
What do you mean, sneak into the place? I always planned on walking in there with my head held high.
You bought off Uncle Wina, didn't you? He promised me he'd stop you from doing anything dangerous. Oh, it's like he didn't even try.
You feel like he went back on his word. What if I told you my mind was made up, and there was nothing he could have done? Not even by force.
Oh, I knew it! So
Die fühlt sich eher auf wie ihre Mutter als ihre Schwester.
This is important. If you were in my shoes, you'd make the same decision.
You don't know that? I'm a doctor, and I handle logistics. If you're going to waltz into a dangerous situation where you could lose control at any moment, it's my duty to say something.
All right,
Alter, die ist so nasty einfach gerade.
What do you mean, anything else? Why don't you reflect on what you've done and promise me you'll stay put?
Time out. Is this one of our normal arguments or a serious one?
Child, does it sound like I'm joking?
Then you need to know something. What happened to Kachina was partially my fault. I can't leave her there to die. That's not who I am.
But the person you become when you lose control, that's also not who you are.
Dann gib ihr einen
That's a different
Snickers.
issue. You said it yourself. A person is only as good as their morals. If I want to live in Natlan, I need to display qualities that make me worthy of this nation.
I've also told you that managing your condition is equally important.
Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. All right, let's stop this here. If we keep going, I might actually have to get serious. And I think Wina prefers his roof attached to his house.
Oh, ich würde gerne mal Chaska richtig serious erleben.
Threat to me.
Koichi! Younger sisters are supposed to listen to their elders.
So, you're really going to go?
Echt mal Respekt vor Älteren. Auch es geht auch für dich, Lilly. Ich bin älter als du.
Your sister.
Then support me. I'll be back. All you have to do is wait.
Chaska. So, that's it. Why'd you have to turn out to be so darn annoying?
You two are something else.
Something you wanted to say?
I know you
Nice,
aren't related
bud.
by blood, but you two sure are similar.
Really?
You know, I said that very thing to Koichi not too long ago, and she reacted the exact same way, down to the very tone of voice. It's not my place to get involved, but I will say this. Try to spend a little more time with your sister. You're tough kids. That doesn't mean you have to go it alone.
Thank you.
Anytime. All right. If you're done with the Spirit Speaker Stone, you might as well hand it over. According to Kinich, it's an important ceremonial artifact, so it'd be safer to keep it with me.
About that.
Oh, ich wusste es. Mulani hat richtig fett gefurzt. So sah sie nämlich aus.
Repaired it just like the Holy Liar.
The Spirit Speaker Stone might be 2 stones now.
Huh? I see. Sounds like it was an urgent situation. If someone's life was on the line, then you had no choice. Still, Citlali's going to be a nightmare to deal with now that you've broken her stuff. I'll explain everything to her later. Stay safe out there in the Night Kingdom, okay? I'll wait here for your safe return.
Echo des Lebens. Bring Katschinas alten Namen zu Mauvika. Machen wir gleich. Ich glaube, ich habe die Dailies dadurch abgeschlossen. Nice. Das ist noch nicht abgeschlossen. Ich glaube, wir gehen ja auch gleich ab, die Dailies. Müssen da so oder so hin. Das ist schon mal echt gut. Immer die Dailies machen, Leute. Immer die Dailies machen. Catherine! Schickt die ganze Zeit irgendwie nur 4 Leute zur Erkundung los. Hier, komm. Wo wählen? Ah, nee. Hier. Okay, ja, du kannst mal ein bisschen Erkundung machen. Ich wollte dich nicht schlagen. Sorry, Catherine.
Thank you for
Nice. Einsammeln. Stufe 15 schon. Oh, das ist aber toll. Das ist ideal. Scheiße, wollte ich nicht das Koop-Event noch machen? Mensch. Oh, das braucht noch ein bisschen für 10 Puls. Das ist shitty. Ah. Nix Zeit habe ich hier. Da kriege ich 400. Das habe ich gerade mal bei 35%. Das ist schon erst. Da habe ich noch 32 Tage dafür. Ja, so viel zu tun. Wohin muss ich? Hier? Hier hin? Boah, ich liebe einfach Xylone, mit der ist man so schnell einfach. Und sie sieht einfach mega aus. Das ist auch noch ein weiterer Fakt. Sie sieht sehr hübsch aus. Spitting Facts, ja, das mache ich. Ich habe nämlich Big Boober Energy so wie Xylonen. So cool bin ich.
We're back! We found Kachina's ancient name, too!
Well, it's fairly complicated. Let me give you the condensed version.
The Vtuberi again? We can't go anywhere without them causing trouble.
But what if the Vtuberi finds out you've lost your power? Won't they try to take advantage of the situation?
That's why it has to be our little secret. No one else can know, or we're asking for trouble. Look, I wish I could offer you some sort of consolation, but I won't lie to you. With multiple factions closing in, there's nothing comforting about the situation we're facing. Still, all you need to do is focus on your goal.
Red Eye, spoilerst du dich nicht gerade vor?
Matters to me.
I can also step in on the Pyro Archon's behalf. There's a limit to what I can accomplish, but I'll help you however I can.
There's no need to be so modest, Yan-san. Your incredible strength has long been a well-known fact. You're the pride of your tribe.
Archon, I'm sorry about before. You have so much on your plate, so much that you have to worry about. But all I could do was focus on my own feelings.
You have nothing to be sorry about. We all get overwhelmed by our emotions, myself included. Your reaction to Kachina's disappearance, I understand that feeling very well. Well, now that we have Kachina's ancient name, let's go track her down. Follow me.
Ja, lass uns den Chinchilla suchen. Ja, das kann gut sein. Ansonsten kannst du ab einem Punkt durchskippen, weil du ja eh weißt, wie die Story dann ist. Das ist halt auch ein Vorteil.
What is this place? Hey, isn't that Atea's talisman?
Good eye. This is where I store all the various mementos I've collected.
Whoa. I've never seen this place before. There's so many things in here.
It looks like there are items from every tribe. Collecting them must have taken a lot of effort.
I suppose you could think of it as a hobby of sorts. In Natlan, everyone grows up listening to the stories of heroes, and physical items do a far better job of preserving those stories than our own memory. Now, I still have some preparations to make for the ceremony, so feel free to take a look around in the meantime. If you're curious about an item, I'm more than willing to tell you about its origins.
All right, we'll have a look.
Geschichtsstunde mit
So many
Mauvika.
jars and potions around here. Do they have anything to do with alchemy?
No, those belong to the Masters of the Nightwind. They're ceremonial tools used to amplify the ability to communicate with the Night Kingdom and the Wyab. Yamaya is an expert in this field, and she taught me a lot. Even though she appears
Ich finde es sehr
stoic and
interessant, den
serious,
Fakt, dass der
she actually
Feuerakkorn
has a
von
keen sense
vorher
of
ein Mensch
humor.
war. Einfach
The
nur.
tools you see here are quite traditional. Her students found them outdated,
So fühlt
so
sie
she
sich auch
passed
ehrlich
them on to
gesagt
me.
an. Irgendwas an
The
ihr
contents of the
lässt sie
jars
sehr
aren't all that
menschlich wirken.
special. Oh, except the big jar in the middle. That's what she really wanted to give me.
Ooh, must be something really cool. What's inside?
Asche.
Grape juice.
Oh. Einfach Traubensaft.
It's quite tasty, although probably expired by now.
I.
This is Atea's talisman.
I'm sure you're familiar with this one already. Atea was rarely ever without it. The talisman brought her a lot of luck in battle.
Rostige Angel
Hey, there's a
einfach.
fishing rod here. It must have belonged to the people of the springs.
That's right. It belongs to a legendary fisherman named Matavaru. I have his entire set of fishing equipment, actually. He and I met in a tavern. He told me about a particular kind of giant fish and his meticulous plan to catch it. In his eyes, I saw a hunger and a strong fighting spirit. To him, the sea was the battlefield upon which he staked his honor.
So, did he do it?
The next time I saw him, he was covered in scars. It turned out the fish he sought had been corroded by the abyss. He managed to kill the fish, but sustained a serious injury in the process, which meant he could never go deep-sea fishing again. Can a fisherman claim victory if he fails to bring back his catch? That's what he asked me in the end.
Well, Paimon thinks he won.
That was my answer as well. The experience was far. In the end, he
Oh, ich habe aus Versehen
didn't want
geklickt,
his tools
sorry.
to go to waste, so he gave them to me.
Wait, that means you also know how to fish.
Viech.
Maybe we can go head to head sometime.
Wahrscheinlich kann Mauvika den Fisch braten direkt, wenn sie den angelt. Instant, hat den gekochten Fisch.
The powder still needs some time to settle, so let's wait a little longer. Well, what do you think of my collection? Do you feel like you have a better understanding of Natlan's culture now?
Yeah.
Das war einfach nur Traubensaft und eine Angel.
Seems like Natlan's really been through a lot.
Das ist einfach die Kultur davon. Fisch und
Every item hold a
Traubensaft.
special memory, just like Atea's talisman.
That's right. The items in my collection actually serve a similar purpose to the ancient names passed down among the tribes. They demonstrate the true shape of time.
The shape of time?
Most people perceive time as a linear concept, almost like a straight line that can only move forward. We cannot change the past or predict the future. But there's also a different theory, one that I believe to be closer to the truth. Namely, that the past, present, and future all exist at once.
At once? Paimon's not sure she understands.
Let's say your journey ended right now. Thinking back on your experience in each nation, which one would you say was the most important?
Meine Nation ist die wichtigste natürlich.
Exactly.
Ja,
Even
siehst
at the end
du?
of your journey, the things you experienced along the way don't cease to exist. They become part of who you are. Take out a portion of that journey, and you would likely make very different decisions, and eventually arrive at a very different destination. The future is the same way. It exists even though it has yet to come to pass. We just lack the means to perceive it. Of course, there are those with the power to foresee the future. They simply call it by a different name. Fate. You're quite familiar with that concept, I would imagine.
That does kinda make sense. The future hasn't happened, but already exists.
Boah, Paimon hat gerade richtig einen Stroke.
Humanity
Die
excels
Gehirnzellen
at
sterben
living in
gerade
the
ab.
present, but too often we forget the past and neglect the future. While the pilgrimage and the Night Warden Wars lead us to a better future. Only by uniting the people of Natlan across countless eras can we fight back against an enemy as formidable as the Abyss. To come up with such a set of rules, the first Pyro Archon must have possessed a level of insight I can only imagine. That's correct. At first, he was a mortal man with no special power. After he ascended to the Divine Throne, he used it to borrow power from the heavens and establish the rules of Natlan. Namely, a framework through which ordinary people can ascend to Archonhood. By holding the pilgrimage, we're able to determine the strongest among us. And when that person ascends to the Divine Throne, their inner flame will awaken.
Hallo,
In
Snacky.
addition, the sacred flame will grant them significant knowledge and memory of this land. After all, that's how I came to know everything I just told you.
So, it all comes down to the power of the Divine Throne and the rules.
Sass.
Wait, is that a family portrait?
Yes.
Oh, wie
That's my
niedlich ist
mother,
das denn?
father, younger sister, and the little Saurians we raised. I turned a piece of my dad's leather armor into a canvas and commissioned a famous artist to paint our likeness.
Your sister is so cute! It looks like the two of you are really close. Paimon was having a hard time thinking of an Archon as an ordinary person, but seeing this portrait, it kind of makes sense now. It really doesn't look like there was anything special about you before. Oh, wait, is Paimon allowed to say that?
Paimon, ey.
Question, don't you think?
Sorry! Paimon's so sorry! Paimon's mouth works faster than her brain sometimes!
Ja, das merke ich.
It's all right. I'd never get upset over something like that. No matter what others may say, my past is a precious part of my identity. I'm forever proud of the life I used to lead. Becoming the Archon doesn't mean you sever ties with your family. The position just comes with a lot of responsibilities, so it impacts how often you get to see them. My father made the most delicious stew, so my sister would often bring me a large pot of his cooking, and he would sit on a blanket and eat it together. One time, we didn't close the door securely, and the Saurians you were raising ran into the room and knocked over the entire pot. My sister immediately burst into tears. The two troublemakers were going for the meat, but when they saw my sister's distress, they froze on the spot. I still remember the way they laid there, sulking like a pair of children, even after making such a mess. It was frustrating, but in the end, all I could do was comfort my sister and move on.
Wow.
Du hast es einmal so
Isn't that what being
verziehen.
a family is all about? I think about that story a lot, actually. As the Archon, I made a vow to defend this nation, and experiences like that, they remind me exactly what I'm trying to protect.
Well, what happened after that? This portrait looks pretty old. Your sister must be all grown up by now, right?
I believe she ended up working as an architect and artist. She built many houses and crafted many beautiful works of art. Anyway, that's enough about me. Now that the powder is
Das
settled,
hat sich
we can
angehört,
begin.
als hätte sie ihre Familie.
Mulani
Als
Chaska.
wäre die schon an
Over here,
Altersschwäche
please.
gestorben. Ich weiß ja nicht, wie lange sie schon lebt.
Place the ancient name up there, and then
Sehr
we'll begin.
traurig. Warum kann ich nur gehen? Renn doch mal dahin! Lass dir halt ruhig Zeit.
Surely as the echoes of life resound through heaven and earth, so too shall our stories remain eternal. Ancient name, take us to your fated bearer. Allow her to answer our call.
Am I hallucinating again?
Kachina, are you okay?
Huh? I'm not seeing things, am I? Is the Abyss playing tricks on me again?
It's okay, Kachina. It's just us. We're trying to find a way
Just
to
the
bring you
two
back.
of us.
Everyone, you have to listen to me.
Ja, dann red mal. Die Zeit ist knapp.
I've been investigating the Night Kingdom this entire time, and I figured out what's wrong. The Wyab is being affected by the Abyss. I was waiting for the Wyab to send me back, but then this really strong monster came in and it almost killed me. The Wyab saved me, even though its power is weakening, so I've been hiding from the monsters while trying to find a way to help. The Night Kingdom has become a huge mess, though. I keep hearing these awful sounds and seeing really horrible things.
Don't listen to those sounds, Kachina. The Abyss is trying to strip you of your sanity. All you need to do is stay safe and wait for us. We'll be there shortly.
It's okay. I feel so much better now that I've had the chance to talk to you guys. You don't need to worry about me. I've never been strong or special at all, really. So I don't blame anyone for forgetting about me or leaving me behind. Just knowing you care is more than enough. I'll find a way back. You don't have to put yourselves in danger to come rescue me.
You're always like this, Kachina. Now's not the time to act tough. We're coming for you, and that's final.
You're
I
coming
don't know
for
what
you.
lies the Abyss has been feeding you, but I'll tell you something right now. Nobody here sees you as a burden. You're a victor of the Night Warden Wars, a hero of Natlan. All you need to do is wait for us to rescue you, and you'll get all the applause and recognition you deserve.
I'm really scared. Everything's so dark and creepy here. And I want to go home.
Boah, ich glaube, Kachina braucht richtig Dino-Nagi-Support einfach.
I don't want you to put yourselves in danger because of me. I don't want to hold anyone back ever again.
All you need to do is
Nightshade fängt
place
schon
your
an mit den
trust in us,
Dino-Nagis.
just like you always have. No one fights alone. We're not leaving you behind. Not ever.
Yeah, we're so close. We can't call it quits now.
Ja, yeah, die ganzen Dino-Nagis. Schick die zu Kachina, dann kommt sie bestimmt. Was, du hast eine Wunde? Slap ein Dino-Nagi einfach drauf. Das wirkt schon.
Looks like we've lost contact. Now comes the most dangerous part. You have to traverse the Night Kingdom in your physical form. This entrance to the Night Kingdom was left behind after an abyssal invasion. Even a brief amount of time inside could expose you to corrosion.
I know. I'm prepared for that possibility.
All right, then I wish you all the best. I'll tell Koichi to be ready just in case. She's very experienced in dealing with abyssal corruption. That face you just made. Don't tell me you two got into another argument.
No, I just...
Du hast deinen Arm verloren, keine Sorge, nimm ein Dino-Magie. Genau, das ist meine Rede. So läuft das
The
hier.
more people, the stronger the party. Thank you so much for your help, everyone.
More
It really
people,
means a lot that
the
you're willing
stronger
to
the
brave these
stroke.
dangers with me. And there's no time to lose, so let's get going.
Now that I've lost my power, I won't be able to provide much practical support. But I can still keep an eye on the situation from here. Eon-san, I know it's unlikely, but if you encounter a situation you can't handle...
That won't happen.
I hope not.
Just the two of us. Okay, Nivilet. So wisst ihr euch mal, wie toll die aussehen nebeneinander. Irgendwie die Farbschemen finde ich super. An diesem Blau und Rot. Ich meine, basically ist Nivilet der Archon, aber auch nicht so richtig. Er hat nur die Kräfte zurückgekriegt. Das ist cool. Okay. Wo muss ich hin?
Bring it.
Bring it on. Erstmal auf Buba starren. Das war nicht ich, das war Nivilet. Obwohl, meine Augen starren da auch immer drauf. Also von dem her. Oh, ich brauche mich dahin. Ich will jetzt nicht den ganzen Weg laufen. Hey, guck mal, ich habe wenigstens den Leo-Gleiter. Oh, tot. Nein. Oh, wir gehen in die Sphäre rein. Was nehmen wir denn hier Schönes mit? Ich glaube, ich lasse das Team so. Ich glaube, das ist gut so. Gut. Ich mache Zhongli alle Ehren. Alle Ehre. Alle Ehren. Du kommst einen guten Osment des Wein, siehst du, ich werde bevorzugt jetzt. Ihr kriegt den Fauligen, der das schon abgestanden steht.
So we're underneath Natlan right now? It looks nothing like Paimon was imagining.
That's because in the distant past, Natlan was home to an incredibly advanced civilization ruled by dragons. Humans only established their own society after the fall of the dragons.
So these are Saurian ruins? Wait, you mean like the elemental sovereigns? They had their own advanced civilization?
Yes, a really long time ago. Very few records have survived until now, so no one really knows what the devices here are for. These ruins have been abandoned for a long time, but with the recent increase in abyss activity, the installations around here have somehow been activated again.
So what you're saying is, we're not in for an easy trip to the Night Kingdom.
No. It's going to be an obstacle after obstacle from here on out.
Buba-Alarm. Genau das will ich hören. Böber. Alter, geh weg mit Böber. Das fühlt sich so schrecklich an.
It's the pre-adventure excitement kicking in, right guys?
Oh, die ist richtig high.
Of course. I'm eager to get started.
Then let's go. We won't let anything stand in our way.
Die Böber.
Seems like the road ends here. How should we get across?
Ich weiß nicht. Oh!
Professional trainer.
Jetzt wäre ich beinahe
I think you
runtergefallen.
could stand to build up your endurance, Paimon.
Echt mal.
Trainer? Paimon thought you were a warrior from the Collective of Plenty.
Well, that goes without saying. But I actually work as a sports coach. I provide professional guidance for many of Natlan's popular sports. And I don't just mean physical training. I design nutrition plans as well.
Ah, so basically no sugar, no soft drinks, no grilled meat.
Yeah, we'll be here all day if you list them out one by one. It's much faster to just focus on what's good for you.
Such as?
Vegetables.
Mehr nicht.
We've fought them before. Let's go.
Wobei gegrilltes Fleisch auch echt wichtig ist, wenn man so Training macht. Das Eiweiß braucht man doch. Warum sollte das jetzt schlecht sein? Vor allem gegrillt ist besser als in der Pfanne gebraten. I don't get it.
Settle down.
Letting brave names echo! Witness the power of Goodbye. Shine down!
Bow your head. The time's beckoning.
The time is bacon verstehe ich immer, auch wenn es Bacon heißt. Es tut mir leid. Jetzt hört ihr es auch immer. The time is bacon. Fisch. Hui.
Oh, the place we need to go seems really high up.
Time ist auch halt einfach Bacon, ja.
There is no escape! No, my sword!
No, my sword!
Illusion shattered!
Settle down.
Settle down, ladies and gentlemen. Sonst gibt's Ärger mit Nivillette. Open the door.
There is no escape! Rain cutter!
Silence.
Torn to oblivion!
Torn to Oblivion. Oh, er hat seine Ulti noch nicht fertig. Finde ich nicht so schön.
Hear the echoes of the valley!
Shingshi, du leckst an Fightiness. An Ultiness hast du geleckt. Oh. Verwandel dich doch.
This is the final stretch. We just need to climb up.
Nein,
We'll be there.
nicht runterfallen.
Do it. Easy for you to say.
Wollte mir einfach der Dino hier gerade einen richtigen Abgang machen.
This must Ein
be the entrance
Ries.
the Pyro Archon told us about.
Es ist fast wie mein
One
Kartenschlitz.
ripped open by the abyss.
Yes. There's something in the depths of this place that feels familiar, yet also foreign.
We actually have to go in there? Okay, Paimon just needs to psych herself up. Don't push her through before she's ready.
Ach, es ist wieder hell. Ach, meine Augen brennen. My eyes.
Hey, you don't have to drag Paimon. You're pulling too hard.
Aber Paimon, du bist Emergency Food.
Looks like we made it.
Ja, willkommen, der
This is the
Feigling.
Night
Willkommen im
Kingdom.
Chat.
It looks so different from what I imagined in the stories.
That overflow of energy is probably what trapped Kachina here in the first place.
From this point forward, Everything we know about the real world no longer applies. Anything can happen here.
Paimon's more worried about how we're gonna make it out. We obviously can't go back the way we came.
Do you see that patch of light on the ground? It's shining down from that fissure in the sky.
Oh yeah, right in front of us.
Yeah.
So that's coming from up there? Oh, it's so high up. Did we really fall that far down?
Just like I said, our real-world knowledge doesn't apply here. We fell all this way, yet came out completely unscathed. If this was the real world, we'd have to climb our way back up to the entrance. But here, all we have to do is stand underneath the light and offer a prayer.
Chaska, du kannst mich Huckepack tragen, wenn du Lust hast.
Right. We still got a job to do. So that means all we need to do is find Kachina and bring her to this location.
Exactly. This light is streaming in from the real world. It's a link between the two realms.
The terrain looks difficult to navigate, and the visibility is not great either. How are we supposed to find Kachina in these conditions?
Yeah, these floating black things don't look super friendly either.
Those are all manifestations of abyssal power. Be careful.
Ghost! A talking ghost!
Calm down, I'm here to help. You're the ones who helped Vichama, right? Yes, I'm Vichama's friend, Malko. I was completely lost to this realm until I sensed a mysterious power calling out to me. It's like it was seeking me out, attempting to reassemble the pieces of who I used to be. Of course, it could only do so much. I'm sorry I can only appear before you in this imperfect form.
No, we should be the ones apologizing. If the Spirit Speaker's stone hadn't become corrupted by the Abyss, we could have done much more. But we had to destroy it. Otherwise, Vichama and his tribe would have been in danger.
Of course. Thank you for protecting him. I never imagined that, even after all these years, he'd still take such a risk for me. Under the power of the stone, it felt like our souls were connected. Turns out even our regrets were exactly the same.
Whether in triumph or death, you want your best friend by your side.
Exactly. That may not be in the cards for us, but it's not too late for you. You're looking for a young girl from the Children of Echoes, right? She's being chased by an embodiment of abyssal power. I'd like to help her while I'm still in this form, so follow me. Be careful. This place has been severely corroded by the Abyss.
Paimon didn't realize it had gotten this bad.
It's like a seething volcano ready to engulf our world at any moment.
Dann folgen wir mal den kleinen Geist hier. Sieht übrigens wunderschön aus. Au, das tat weh. Ah, ich darf nicht außerhalb laufen. Okay, hab ich schon verstanden. Ja, wenn du so langsam bist, dann schaffen wir das wirklich nicht. Los, Grandpa, mach mal ein bisschen hin, ne? Ah! Es verfolgt mich. Warum hast du keinen Schutzwall mehr aufgestellt?
Not good. More monsters.
We shouldn't waste our time on them.
Leben am Limit, ja.
Be sanctified.
Das schafft sie schon, Skelonen. Das wird sie schon überleben, bestimmt.
Oh, Paimon can't see anything.
It's easy to get lost here. Just stick close.
Oh, ich habe ein paar Hallos, wie ich sehe.
Did you hear that? What? Never mind. It was probably just my imagination.
Sag ich doch, Hallos. Danke für die Diagnose, sagt man da.
I heard it too. It was a voice from the abyss.
What did it say?
Doesn't matter.
Ich habe keine Hallos. Die haben Hallos. Ich habe nie Hallos. Bin immer höchst konzentriert, wie man merkt. Deswegen ist Helone nicht nur halb tot.
Paimon just heard it too! Let's keep going. Paimon wants to get out of this place!
Ich bin auf ein ganzes Konzentrat, auf jeden Fall. Ja, immer. Immer. Das ist Kachina!
We're here, Kachina! Honey? You made it! Looks like our reunion will have to wait until we take care of these monsters. Good idea. Let's go!
Der Kachina kann doch bestimmt schon gar nicht mehr kämpfen, wenn so erschöpft wie die ist. Oh oh. Ich hasse diesen Bluteffekt von den Dingern. Voll auf die Nerven.
Bring it! You're here. You're finally here. Thank you so much. That monster can appear from anywhere. It almost caught me a bunch of times. The Wyap's power helped keep me hidden, so I just tried to stay out of sight until you got here. Had a girl. You did so well. And most importantly, you weren't hurt.
Should we start heading back then?
Actually, I have a request. Will you come visit the Wyap with me? I can't exactly put it into words, but something's wrong with the Ode of Resurrection. And I know it has something to do with the contamination from the Abyss.
That was the Pyro Archon's theory as well. Everything we've seen here certainly seems to back it up.
In the Night Kingdom, there are 6 main totem poles representing the Wyap of each tribe. You can think of them like the body of each Wyap. Additional totem poles, like the ones around here, serve as proxies to which the Wyap can extend their consciousness. There are countless proxies scattered around the Night Kingdom. Through them, the Wyap can extend their consciousness over the entire realm and track down souls no matter where they roam. But if a proxy were to become severely contaminated, then a soul could become lost within the Night Kingdom.
Judging by the current situation, I don't think we're dealing with just one contaminated proxy. Even if we could drive back the abyssal power from one of them, that probably wouldn't even put a dent in the problem.
Still, we can't just leave the Wyap to suffer. It's protected me this whole time.
I agree. We might even manage to draw out the monster that's been hunting Kachina. Getting rid of the monster might slow down the deterioration of the Night Kingdom.
Kachina? What's wrong?
Sie braucht ein bisschen Kopfschmerztabletten. Ein bisschen Ibuprofen, dann läuft das schon.
Telling me to abandon the Wyap and leave this place.
Maybe we really should leave. Kachina's already been here for too long.
No, I'm fine. I don't plan on listening to that nonsense. I can hold on. Just up ahead. I'll lead the way. Besides, I can still fight, so please, help me out a little longer. Listen to me, Kachina. We'll come with you, but that's because we want to help the Wyap. Not because we have something to prove. You don't have anything to prove either. It's okay if you reach your limit. We'll be there for you.
All right. The sooner we get this done, the better.
We've already come all this way, so we might as well try to get to the bottom of this.
Let's go. This way.
I'll stay here and try to stall the Abyss monster.
All by yourself? That's too dangerous.
It's all right. I may not be as strong as that monster, but I'm definitely more familiar with the area. Besides, I don't have much time left. If you're anything like my friend, I'm sure you're not particularly fond of goodbyes. So go. Achieve your goal. And return to the world where you belong.
Chicken Nuggets. Sagerchen.
You're a true hero.
Thank you. No one fights alone.
Does your head still hurt? Let me help you walk.
I'm fine. You should know I'm made of stronger stuff than that.
Zylonen, das schaffst du noch. Ist nur eine Fleischwunde. Alles gut.
Wyab, I'm back. My friends and I are here to heal you. Wyab, can you hear me?
Kachina, du redest mit einem Stein. Oh mein Gott, der Stein redet.
So we were right. The contamination is already too severe. It's preventing the Wyab from answering our calls. All right, get ready, everyone. Time to purge the abyssal energy from this place.
Ich helfe auch mit.
Careful. We've got company.
Och nö, nicht so ein Brudi. Steini, bist du das?
Could slow me down. Courage in the face of futility is pure folly. He tried to get in my way, so I disposed of him.
Disposal.
You killed Malco?
Dieses Schwein hat Malco getötet.
With or without me. Rather than worrying about him, I would urge you to focus on yourself. You may have defeated others of my kind in the past, but underestimate me now, and it will be to your peril.
Steckst du hinter all dem? No.
The abyss is intoxicating. The destruction it seeks captivates like a masterful work of art. I strive only for the opportunity to see it up close. I thought this naive little girl was an exception, but it turns out humanity is full of lambs willing to offer themselves up to the slaughter. That is the tragedy of your short lives. You understand nothing of all-encompassing power. Ancient names, pride, friendship, all empty ideas invented to give you a false sense of self-worth. They possess no power at all. The Pyro Archon created those grandiose ideals out of pure selfishness. Anything to avoid sharing power. Anything to avoid handing over the primordial gift to ordinary people like you. Don't believe me? Then ask yourself, why is the Pyro Archon strong beyond measure, while you, Kachina, remain so pathetically weak?
Kachina, give me your hand. Feel that? I'm right here next to you.
Das ist die Power of Freundschaft.
You're right. I have nothing to fear. Because I'm not alone anymore.
Da denken sie auch, hä?
You're right. Maybe comforting ideals don't have any power. But you also couldn't be more wrong. You've never had to work for your own strength, so you will never understand the true source of our power.
What?
The courage we have to stand before you and not back down? It comes from our friendship. The power lies not in the ideal itself, but in our commitment to upholding that ideal, and in our decision to stand together and fight!
Well said!
Let's go, Kachina. It shouldn't take more than 2 of us to handle an enemy like this.
Sorry in
Just the
advance,
2
but
of us.
you deserve what's coming to you!
There
Jetzt
aren't
gibt's
many
eine
Natlan who
Trachprügel.
can beat us when we're together. It's time he got a taste of that kind of power.
Oh, wir können Mualani und nur Kachina spielen. Oh, die kann ich doch gar nicht, Mann. Hier, ne Nuke.
Right here! Clear the area! Woohoo!
Oh, ich weiß gar nicht, wie man die spielen soll.
Here goes!
Off we go. Check this out. Best of luck.
Ja, ein bisschen Aquaknarre.
We won! We actually won!
Gute
That's what
Arbeit.
he gets for underestimating you two.
Fantastic work, Kachina. Absolutely fantastic. This makes me so unbelievably happy.
I'm happy too, Mualani. Together we really are unstoppable.
Die sind echt wie 2 süße Geschwister einfach.
Huh? What's happening? My ancient name is glowing? But I thought I didn't bring it with me.
It's probably a projection from the real world, but that doesn't explain why it's glowing all of a sudden.
Wait, does that mean you're...
That was a bold move. Diving headfirst into the fire to save your friend. Especially in a place so overrun with abyssal corruption. Still, seeing you pull it off was really something. Everything you said was exactly right. As isolated individuals, we stand no chance against the power of the Abyss. It took years' worth of scars, and lots of unnecessary suffering, for me to understand that for myself. The Pyro Archon's plan will unite us as one. Everyone has a part to play. Only then will we have the power to defeat the strongest of foes.
Ich hatte einfach voll den krassen Synchronsprecher gekriegt.
Tupac, a warrior from the
Tupac?
people of the Springs. I fought against the Abyss during the invasion 500 years ago.
I've heard that name before. You were the giant who saved all of Natlan.
Since you were able to awaken my words from your ancient name, that means you have fully embodied the aspirations of the Wyab. Under the name Umoja, you shall unite the tribes and save Natlan from its impending doom.
Me?
As long as blood still runs through your veins, even the tiniest spark of steel against stone can ignite a flame. Its blaze will become one with the gaze of all Natlan. Even amid everlasting darkness, our bonds remain eternal.
Brofist, los, Mualani, das ist deine Chance, cool zu sein. Yeah. Okay, das war wohl doch nicht so gesund.
What's wrong, Moalani? So many memories. My brain was just flooded with everything he once knew. So that's what happened.
What do you mean? Did you just figure something out?
500 years ago, they foresaw the very crisis we're facing now. Efforts to save Natlan started all the way back then.
We can go over the details once we get back. We shouldn't linger here longer than we have to. I know bits and pieces, but I had no idea Moalani was also part of the plan.
This sounds like something that's going to need a lot of explaining. Let's focus on saving the Wyatt first.
Wir müssen den Stein retten. Dann ist er schön hart und groß und glitzert. Save the stone. What the fuck? Das ist immer, wenn man im falschen Moment zuhört.
Okay, that should be enough.
Rettet mein Steini.
Wyatt, can you hear
Gibt es nicht ein Getränk, was Steini heißt? Cola-Weizen?
I hear your voice, Kachina. My dear child.
Great. Well then, I'm afraid it's time to say goodbye. I just wanted to make sure you were okay before we leave, but we can't afford to stay here any longer. I was going to ask why you bestowed an ancient name upon someone like me, but it's okay. I'll keep searching within myself for the answer. I'll never stop trying to improve my strength. One day, I'll live up to the hero you saw in me.
You are already an outstanding child in my eyes, Kachina. No matter what happens.
Huh?
You are all my most beloved children. It has always
Glückwunsch,
been my
Kachina.
honor to protect
Deine
and
Mutter ist ein
nurture
Stein.
you. Your ancient name is just that. A name. Much like your parents chose to name you Kachina, I also gave you a name.
Warum stürzt bei dir Twitch so oft ab, ey? Twitch, was soll das? Das machen wir noch auf jeden Fall. Damit ihr die Primos kriegt. Snacky, dein Twitch, was ist da los?
The story of your ancient name is for you to continue. Just like your parents, my love for you will never change. No matter what the future holds.
Oh, the Primos!
Thank you, Wyatt.
It gladdens me to see the Pyro Archon's plan move another step towards completion. But it's time for you to leave this place. The situation here is getting worse.
Das wäre schön, weil man muss eigentlich 2 Stunden dafür Genshin streamen. Nur für 30, anstatt dass die 60 geben.
I know we've never met before, Wyatt, but I just wanted to say thank you for encouraging Kachina. It was exactly what she needed to hear.
Aber 30 ist 30, da beschwert man sich nicht.
What's going on? An earthquake?
We're out of time.
It's the power of the abyss. Quick, we need to run.
Oh nein, renn schneller!
Vasily opened the way for us.
Lol, hier gibt's Seelis. Hä? Oh. Oh, das ist wirklich so eine Sequenz. Und hoffe ich, dass ich mal nicht verkack. Renn! Lumine, du musst rennen! Oh, die Musik, die macht mir richtig Stress einfach. Das ist richtig stressig gerade. Lauf! Meine Ausdauerbalken ist halt gleich weg. Das ist nicht so ein Wuffering Wave, das ich die unendlich habe außerhalb des Kampfs. Oh mein Gott, lauf doch nicht so langsam! Los! Oh, wir haben es wirklich nicht geschafft. Das hat mich irgendwie an die Sequenz mit Xiao und Zhongli erinnert, wo Zhongli noch zur Hilfe gekommen ist. Der ist leider nicht gekommen gerade. Dafür Maurika.
You've done well. Now come home.
Das war voll episch, einmal mit ihrer Melodie da.
We're back! The Pyro Archon saved us.
But she's not here.
Die muss nur ihr Make-up noch frisch machen, alles gut.
Yeah, didn't she say she used it all up?
Ja, hat sie auch. Alles verbraucht, muss sie neu einkaufen.
Still in the speaker's chamber. What we saw in the Night Kingdom was just her consciousness.
So you're saying her consciousness did all that?
Every great display of power comes at a price.
Mit großer Kraft kommt große
Just
Verantwortung.
hold on. We'll get you to a doctor soon. Let's get back to the stadium. The Pyro Archon said she'd have a doctor waiting for us.
I recommend getting a full checkup, just to make sure no damage gets left behind.
Ach, das blendet.
Paimon feels okay. What about you, Traveler?
So wie immer.
Right. You always seem to do pretty well against the Abyss.
Let's get going. We need to share what we learned in the Night Kingdom as well.
Right. The Wyatt mentioned something about the Pyro Archon's plan. What is it exactly?
With Big Boober Energy comes Big Boober Responsibility. Ja, das fühle ich.
We make from here on out will decide Natlan's ultimate fate.
Und große Rückenschmerzen kommen damit auch. Maurika, ich komm dich besuchen.
Huh. There's a lot less stuff here than before.
Echt mal, wo ist der ganze Stuff
Good to
hin?
see you all here in one piece. I know you must have a lot of questions, but let Koichi check you over first. It's best not to let any lingering effects of the Abyss go untreated.
Thank goodness you made it back. I came here as soon as the Pyro Archon told me about your plan. Take a seat, everybody. I'll examine you one by one.
Trotz des kurzen Aufenthalts im Königreich der Nacht sind Bolania und die anderen alle bis zu einem gewissen Grad vom Abgrund kontaminiert, also sie stinken heftig. Aber dank Chuchuis umfassender Erfahrung in der Behandlung dieser Kontamination bleiben die schädlichen Auswirkungen nicht dauerhaft. Die Behandlung lindert auch Kachinas Symptome.
All right, that should do it for now. But just to be safe, I'll perform another checkup in a couple of days. I have to say, though, I've never seen anyone react to the Abyss like you, Traveler. It's
Ich
like
hab's
you're
gegessen.
completely immune to its
Ich hatte ein
power.
bisschen Hunger, aber ich hab Biss
She's
gegessen.
always been special like that. She can even
bin immer
purify its
besonders.
power. Wait, now that you mention it, Paimon doesn't think she's affected either.
Given the current situation, that ability will likely play a great role in the events to come.
Of course. I still have patients to see, so I'll head out.
Thank you, Koichi.
All right, all right. We might not see eye to eye, but we both had good intentions. Just give it time. I'm sure we'll figure things out between us one day.
Yeah.
All right. There's so much to discuss, I don't even know where to begin. You've seen it for yourselves now. The devastation in the Night Kingdom. I'll get straight to the point. Natlan is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible our nation has less than a year before total devastation.
Huh? No. That can't be true, can it?
Immer, wenn ich irgendwo in eine andere Nation gehe als Traveler, ist zufällig genau in diesem Moment irgendeine riesige Katastrophe. Ich glaube, wir selbst sind die Katastrophe.
That's right.
That's
But I've
right.
only ever disclosed that fact to the handful of people working with me to save this nation. Our looming destruction is not a recent development, but the inevitable conclusion of the disaster the Abyss initiated 500 years ago.
Mulan told us a little bit about that.
500 years ago, all the nations of Teyvat were invaded by the Abyss. Unlike the other nations, Natlan never had stable and deep-rooted ley lines, so we suffered the worst of the invasion. The battle against the Abyss was exceedingly long.
Immer wenn ich irgendwo
and
hingehe,
brutal.
kennt mich jemand. Das ist auch
In
ein
the end,
Curse.
victory
Ja,
came at the
irgendwo
cost of
schon.
our civilization and
Du bist halt
countless
bekannt
lives.
in der Welt. Ich hoffe
Even
nicht nur
then,
positiv.
It took centuries of solving the disasters caused by the Abyss to finally achieve the peace we know today. And still, this is but a superficial victory. The forces of the Abyss have merely been driven back underground. Their threat to Natlan remains as real as ever.
I'd never have guessed.
The problems plaguing the Night Kingdom are all the more complicated because that realm is essentially functioning as Natlan's ley lines. Immediately after the war, our calculations estimated that we would have a maximum of 500 years before the Night Kingdom was completely lost to the Abyss. But at that time, we were a nation of the destitute. Our people no longer believed in victory, nor did they hold hope for the future. Our civilization was dying, our faith crumbling, and the line of power passed down from the Wyab nearly severed. If we didn't bring the nation back together, it would be foolish to even dream of defeating the Abyss in the future. So, the Archon had a long and involved discussion with the heroes of each tribe, and finally came up with a 500-year-long plan to save Natlan.
So that's what happened.
Save the waifus and
After finding
husbandos.
Kachina, I encountered a strange figure who gave me a series of new memories. Since the plan was mentioned in those memories, I guess I've been chosen to play an important role in it.
Save the
There's
boobas.
still something I don't understand. Those memories showed me the Pyro Archon from back then. And it was you.
Huh? But that doesn't make any sense. The Pyro Archon is supposed to be human. It's impossible for a human to live that long.
That's right. The hardest thing for humans to overcome has always been time, or rather, the natural limitations of our lifespan. A god can extend a human's life by using a certain amount of divine power, or subjecting them to a curse. But, as we all know, Natlan doesn't have gods like that. We can only rely on our own methods. A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. 500 years ago, I placed my life within the sacred flame. Only by dying before my time could I have the chance to wake up again.
So, in other words, this is your second life?
Ja, hat sie aus dem Second-Hand-Laden.
Yes. We only managed to defeat the Abyss all those years ago because the tribes came together as one. If the Natlan of the future was to have a fighting chance, the Pyro Archons that came after the war had to rebuild the decimated tribes.
Für 9,90
The
€.
goal was to reunite the
Monatlich
people
aber.
and restore the strength of each
Es ist
tribe's
ein Abo, was
Wyab.
du abschließen musst für ein
Once
zweites
a tribe
Leben.
was back to its full strength, the tribe's Wyab would select a hero, indicating the tribe was once again
Ja,
ready for
Monatsabo.
war.
Second
The
Life,
chosen would then stand
Monatsabo,
by my
Leben
side in
lang.
defense of our nation, just like great heroes of old 500 years ago.
So that means I'm one of the chosen?
Hallo, willkommen in den Chat,
That's
Sophie.
right. You bear
Guten
the
Abend.
ancient name Umoja, the same one held by the hero from your tribe 500 years ago. It means unity. After your adventure in the Night Kingdom, I trust you've come to fully understand the meaning of that name.
So in other words, you always knew who the Wyab were going to pick from each tribe?
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. But something went wrong along the way. The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago, but the intel regarding the plan wasn't passed on to them. Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night Kingdom. Communication between the Sacred Flame and the Wyab has been blocked.
Just like how the Ode of Resurrection failed to bring Kachina back.
Exactly. It's just another tactic the Abyss is using against us. The Abyss may not possess intelligence, but its methods certainly aren't easy to counter. If we want to unblock that information from being passed on, my presence alone isn't enough. The ancient name-bearer must establish a greater connection to their name. So, I've tried my best to help them from the sidelines. Currently, Shilonen of the Children of
Shilonen? Alter, ich habe ganz ihren Namen falsch gesprochen. Oxylonen finde ich besser.
Been acknowledged by their names. During your adventure, you too earned the acknowledgement of your Wyab, Mualani. In the process, you gained the memories stored within your name.
But we have less than a year!
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the heroes have been gathered. That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the urgency of the situation.
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me about my role in all this? Wouldn't that make everything go a lot faster?
Perhaps, but the opposite could also be true. Knowing your destiny too early could mean failing to realize your full potential. Just like your determination to save Kachina, I hope your commitment to this endeavor comes from your own strength of will, rather than a sense of obligation.
So I suppose you're not going to tell us who the final 2 heroes are then?
That's right. Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand will only hinder their development. I can only trust in the judgment of the Wyab. I have never believed I could solve this crisis alone. In fact, it was precisely because I chose to trust and rely on others that we managed to get this far. Natlan's salvation lies not in its Archon or any singular individual, but in us all.
Bedeutet, dass du...
You're quite perceptive, aren't you? I thought I might get away with avoiding the topic.
Huh? Oh, right! All of the stuff you stored here before, where did it all go?
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed a contingency plan to ensure you would make it back from the Night Kingdom.
Sag jetzt nicht, sie hat ihren Stuff
I was
verkauft.
the one who allowed you to take that risk, and Mualani has an important role to play in my plan. In addition to their sentimental value, the items I stored here held a much more important purpose: fuel.
Fuel? So back then, that's why you...
Yes. The stories embodied by
Selbst
those
das
items
Bild
are
von ihrer
certainly
Familie?
important, but there's an
Das wäre
even
sehr
more
traurig.
significant trait they all share. Every item belonged to a hero of Natlan. Over time, they became imbued with a certain amount of contending fire from being carried in battle. On their own, each item's power is limited, but together, their combined effect can prove quite useful in a dire situation. By burning those items, I was able to activate the contending fire stored within them to open the boundary between the 2 worlds. It was a rather crude approach, so all their power was depleted in an instant, as you can see.
But weren't they all precious treasures? What about their stories?
That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what, I never wanted the Pyro Archon to have to use that power. Oh, I'm so sorry.
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all deserve my thanks, actually. If you hadn't saved the totem pole, that area of the Night Kingdom would have been forever lost to the Abyss. And then, it would only be a matter of time before the Children of Echoes was met with disaster. Besides, when those heroes entrusted their belongings to me, or the Pyro Archon of their time, it was out of a desire to contribute to Natlan's survival. If they knew those items helped save the present-day heroes of Natlan, they would not mourn their loss.
Even when you put it that way, I still feel bad.
There's no need. Remember what I told you about time? The people and the events of the past are never truly lost to us. We simply carry them with us in a different form. In that sense, we didn't lose anything at all. If you still have regrets, let them fuel your resolve in the battles to come. Your deeds will become new legends and nurture new forms of power just like the items once stored here.
Well, we'd still like to return the favor.
Well, if that's the case, just treat me to a drink sometime. Now
Oh
that
ja,
Kachina has
ein bisschen
returned,
Alk, das
we can
ist immer
finally
gut.
hold the victory feast and celebrate your team's triumph in the Night Warden Wars. And we could all use the rest, that's for sure. Plus, you'll be able to silence everyone who doubted you once and for all, Kachina.
Still, now that I know the danger we're facing, having a victory feast doesn't feel right.
Oh, ich habe aber Hunger. Mann,
It's
Mulani.
important to stay calm. Worrying about it will only affect your judgment. All right. You should head out. I'll join you in a bit.
When I was young, I used to sit by the hot springs and listen to the stories of warriors from all over Natlan. They attract people from all walks of life. Friends come easy here, no matter what tribe you're from. The people of the springs have never claimed the hot springs as their own private property. They are there to bring all hot spring buddies together.
Hot Spring Buddies.
It's been really nice seeing the children of my tribe get older. It's helped me gradually understand the true value of the springs. I've witnessed their energy, their determination, their absolute passion for life. Even when they cause trouble, I never managed to hold on to my anger for long. It's unbelievable how quickly they worm their way back into my good graces. I'm certain Mualani will become a great warrior when she grows up. She possesses infinite potential. I can see it.
I can see it in your eyes.
One day, when I'm no longer in fighting form, I'll come here and tell stories to all the children, just like those warriors did for me. So, you better get busy, Pyro Archon, or I'll end up running out of stories.
Ja, echt mal, wird dran gegessen. Da kommst du, du schaffst das. Du schaffst das, Baby. Du schaffst das. Komm wieder hoch. Stream, nicht abkacken. Nicht am Ende. Alter, ich habe gerade so gesweatet deswegen. Hatten wir wohl einen Spike kurz drin. Ja, ich hoffe, das hat jetzt deswegen nicht abgebrochen. Oh, das ist ihre Familie.
But what about the you from right now? You're just gonna die?
You can't ask her those questions and expect her to answer, my dear. The decision is hers to make, and she deserves our support. We will do everything we can to rebuild the tribes. Don't you worry.
Nice. Noch 5%.
Even across time, we will all do our part to fight for Natlan's future.
Yeah, Mom's right. We'll always believe in you, sis.
Wo ist ihr Vater eigentlich?
Seriously though, Dad should be here.
Ja, echt mal. Soll schon wieder Milch holen?
I imagine he didn't know what to say, so he chose not to come at all. Don't take it to heart, my dear. That's just who he is. Just remember, no matter what happens in the future, we will always love you.
Das ist halt einmal so, wie er ist, ein Arschloch. Echt mal, warum ist er nicht da? Voll traurig.
I'll come find you one day. I know I can't live that long.
Oh, Scheiße. Danke für den Follow, Sophie. Du hast mich gerade echt erschreckt. Dankeschön.
So, don't forget about me.
Ja, Jumpscare-Follower. Alles gut, ist meine Schuld, dass der Sound so laut ist. Das habe ich selbst erschreckt, ja. Es ist jetzt Oktober, da passt es doch.
If that's your decision, then you have my full support, Archon.
May our children live to see such a lovely son.
For Natlan!
For Natlan!
No one fights alone.
Ja, der Mauvika hat auch so einen richtig schönen Catwalk die ganze Zeit.
The rules are my legacy. They shall grant us the strength.
Alles gut, es ist nicht deine Schuld. Es ist ja auch irgendwo witzig, wenn man sich ein bisschen erschreckt.
War forged the 6 tribes, taught us how to fight, instilled in us what it means to love.
Who will be the one to bring this to an end?
We are the inheritors of memory and legend. Those who grew alongside.
Danke für die Clowns, Red Eye.
Those who forged our own destiny and future. That.
Ja, das bin ich zu faul, gerade zu ändern.
Of our nation.
Ich lösche das jetzt einfach. Ich mach's beim nächsten Stream nochmal neu. So, das waren wohl die Erinnerungen von der guten Mauvika. Irgendwie sehr sad. Ihr Vater ist ein Arschloch anscheinend. Das merke ich mir. Ja, warum führt es mich so im Kreis rum? Ich kann doch einfach hier runter. Mann, Spiel. Nee, warte, wo ist das? Ach, hier ist die Treppe. Ach so.
You here for the victory feast too?
Oh, no. I knew Chaska would be here, so I just came to deliver some medicine. I was about to leave, actually. But it's not that I don't want to celebrate Kachina and the others. I'm so glad she made it back. It's just... Well, I'll make things awkward if I'm around my sister right now.
Ah, well, you two had a fight, so Paimon can understand.
She didn't cause any trouble during your trip, right?
Natürlich
yeah, she
nicht.
was super helpful. She gave us a lot of useful information
1% noch, dann haben wir es geschafft.
That's good. That's all I needed to know.
Is there a reason you asked? You were pretty outspoken when we first met, but now it's like you're holding something back.
Maybe it seemed unreasonable, picking that fight with her before you left, but I did it for a reason. Her impulse to fight is extremely strong. Her mental strength helps her rein it in, but she still loses control
Die Leute kriegen 30 Primo-Gems, wenn ich das Spiel 2 Stunden streame. Das sind so Drops, die aktiviert sind, automatisch. Das sind die Belohnungen.
Okay, so maybe it sounds a little stupid, but it works pretty well. It helps her keep her cool for a little while, at least. Anyway, I'm just glad you were able to make it back safe and sound. That's all I wanted.
Uff.
What? Do you really have to go that far? Can't you just talk it out?
No way. Chaska never opens up about her own pain, especially to her family. She can't learn about this, or it'll be even harder to help her. I appreciate the understanding, and don't worry. I'll find a way to help her ease this burden. Anyway, I need to get going. Enjoy the celebration. Oh, and if you ever need a doctor, you know who to find.
Ah, who would have thought there was a deeper reason behind their arguing?
Oh. Jetzt ist ja heute der Morgen drin. Danke für den verschenkten Subred. Ei, Dankeschön. Sehr lieb von dir. Sophie hat's auch direkt bekommen. So.
In the end, it's all the
Ja! Ja!
I've had enough of them.
Ich wurde gerufen. Kitty Cat wurde gerufen. Yo, The Weeknd. Er sieht halt einfach echt so aus, dieser NPC. Oh, Lilly! Lilly, danke schön. Ich hab gesagt, du sollst dir für die CPU sparen. Nee, Loki hat's verschenkt, oder? Ich hab gar nicht geguckt. Ich hab schon wieder umgedreht. Nein, danke, Loki. Alles gut. Jetzt hat Lilly einen Hardtrain gestartet. Ja! Yeah! Ich höre die Story gar nicht mehr. Dankeschön, Loki. Wer hat's jetzt gemacht? Ich lese immer die Subs falsch. Ah, Loki hat's bekommen. Ah, also war's da andersrum richtig. Dankeschön, Lilly. Ich bin irgendwie richtig dumm, wenn es darum geht, das vorzulesen. Da schaltet man Hören aus. Aber du sollst für die CPU sparen, habe ich gesagt. Es gibt Schläge. Schlagt Lilly. Schlagt Lilly mit Dino-Nagis. Das hat sie verdient. Von welchem Gespräch? Was reden wir hier? Wir hatten ein Gespräch?
I'm really sorry, Kachina. It was wrong of us to abandon you like that.
Hier ins Gesicht, ja. Ab mit den Dino-Nagis in ihr Gesicht.
It's amazing that you
Ich habe ein Dino-Nagi-Emote, deswegen.
That's the highest honor.
So, what about you guys? Did you make it far?
Ja, Dino-Nagis überall.
Our team captain drank too much the night before the competition and turned up late to the stadium on the day. We got disqualified.
Jetzt gibt's nur noch Dino-Nagis im Chat.
Serves you all right. No sympathy from me.
Ist sie einfach, Lilly. Dino-Nagis an die Macht, ja.
Need to be like that, Uncle Pakal. Dear friends.
Nicht Loki, der Stinker.
Firstly, I'm grateful to my friends and our great Archon for helping to bring me
Dino-Nagis mit Pikachu-Kombo.
This traveler and her companion Paimon are some of the strongest people I've ever met. If they were allowed to participate in the pilgrimage, I have no doubt that they'd win the whole thing. They've agreed to let me learn from them. With their help, I believe I can become even stronger still. And let's not forget my good friends, Moalani, Chaska, Kanich, and Ayan-san. They all helped the Traveler and Paimon figure out
Glaub mir, das war random.
the Night Kingdom. They too deserve to be called our heroes. So, please give another round of applause for them. Thank you so much.
Was macht sie gegen Loki? Ja, das ist ein kleiner Stinker einfach. So wie Lilly, die stinkt auch.
I'll drink to that.
Das war pure Absicht.
How does it feel being a hero, Kachina?
To be honest, it's a bit overwhelming.
It all just feels so surreal.
Well, you better get used to it. Next up, undefeated champion.
Bis auf den Venus, das ist ein Gestank. Was hat von meiner großen Schwester gelernt? Ja, ich weiß, wie man richtig manchmal abstinkt.
Hey, please don't make fun of me.
Ich wollte das eigentlich jetzt zu Ende noch machen. Das machen wir jetzt noch zu Ende. Ich glaube, das geht nicht mehr lang.
Ah, you're here. Have some fruit juice. I got it specially for you two.
Fruchtsaft! Ich will das hochprozentige Zeug.
You look like you've still got questions. Ask away. Because they had their own lives to live. The thought of telling them, abandon your families and everyone you love, and come with me to the end of time. For in 500 years, Natlan will be destroyed.
Warum sind ihre Augen gerade so dunkel?
Too cruel.
Oh, Rika, was ist mit deinen Augen los?
Point out that everything in this world would come to an end eventually. But life is short. And beyond a point, it just doesn't seem real. Imagine if I said, let's leave right now and go save the sun because it'll flame out in a few million years. It would sound quite ridiculous. I couldn't make them shoulder that burden with me. Besides, every generation will have its heroes, this one included.
Sie hat heute anscheinend freien Tag gehabt und sich gegönnt, aber richtig gegönnt.
Or, of course, without me. But since I was the one who came up with the plan, I felt duty-bound to see it through to the end.
I'm suddenly remembering that portrait in your room. Was that your family from back then?
Yes, it was. So when you asked me who my sister grew up to be, the truth is that very little information survives. From what I've been able to piece together, I can conclude with a reasonable degree of confidence that she ended up as an architect and artist. She played an instrumental role in rebuilding the scions of the Canopy tribe, designing and building many houses. But of course, none of her buildings are around anymore. Still, it was an impressive achievement, and I'm very proud of her. You feel loss keenly. It seems to stir up feelings of regret in you. But this is something I have long since come to terms with. This is a war, and there can be no war without loss. I am already far more fortunate than those who lost their lives to the Abyss. The people of Natlan look to me as their Archon, and the weight of their expectations is mine to bear. I must see our fate through to the very end, no matter what I may find there.
Yeah, doesn't that mean the way everything ends has already been written, including your plan?
I suppose, but so what? Don't forget, time takes many forms. The past, present, and future coexist, and all are equally important. Even if the future ends in destruction, there's still no reason to give up on the here and now. And it's precisely because we humans cannot know our fate that we will never give up on our struggle. This is a pivotal moment. We are still 2 heroes short. Well, 3 to be precise. There's one further hero who I'm hoping to get on my side, whatever it takes. Your resistance to the corrupting power of the Abyss is truly remarkable. It would easily make you an all-important figure in the upcoming battle. If you agree to join us, you will not only gain my full support in your journey, but I will also forge a brand new ancient name for you.
Ancient names can be forged?
They can. Several strict conditions must be met, but if they couldn't be forged at all, then the number of them in circulation would have long dwindled to 0. Possessing an ancient name would mean that your adventures in Natlan are recorded in full. Your stories would be remembered by our people for all the years to come. The Ode of Resurrection may have temporarily lost its power, but still, take this as my personal guarantee that I shall never let you fall. Just like in the Night Kingdom, I will be there for you. That is a promise I will fulfill at all costs. This nation always honors its heroes.
we can't just ignore the situation here.
Wonderful. Then I'll reach out to
Er klatscht schon die ganze Zeit im Hintergrund, wenn ich rede. Betrunkener. Tolles Gespräch, yeah!
I trust she'll find a way.
Da klatscht er! Ich hab ihn gesehen, er klatscht!
My lord, we've received word that the Pyro Archon has lost much of her power. Although your injury complicates things, this is most certainly the opportune time to seize the Gnosis.
Victory and defeat are rules, not outcomes. I have never taken advantage of an opponent.
Der hat vorher eine Klatsche, ey, wieder mit deinen Flachwitzen.
As for you, I must confess, I did not expect that little trick of yours to save the day.
No matter how dense the fog, as long as the sun
Okay, wer ist das? Ein Verräter wohl.
Into night. She could have dispelled it. She simply chose not to. You don't have much
Ich hoffe nicht Ohren, dann wäre ich traurig.
You're injured on top of that. What do you plan to do next?
I'm beginning to see just how useful you may turn out to be. You heard something from here, didn't you?
Ja, sind wir fertig mit dem Kapitel. Sehr schön. Sehr schön. Ein paar Errungenschaften haben wir gemacht. Abenteuerlizenz, da können wir uns jetzt die Belohnung abholen. Sehr schön. Ich glaube, reicht trotzdem nicht für die 10-fach-Puls. Das wäre jetzt zu schön. So schön, um wahr zu sein. Nee. Ich gehe jetzt trotzdem mal schnell umtauschen. Es sind gerade mal 5. Mir fehlen noch 4 Puls, um 10 Mal für Xylonen zu holen. Chylonen oder ich weiß nicht, wie sie das ausgesprochen hat. Einfach voll komisch. Einfach komisch. So.